Hey, Jeremy.
What's up, Michael?
Jeremy, you see that podcast up on that windowsill?
Oh my God, it looks delicious.
Oh, I can smell it from here. Dude, let's take it.
You think we can take that podcast?
If it wouldn't be sitting on a windowsill if they didn't want somebody
Yeah,
to take it and enjoy it.
Why would they put it outside like that?
Unacceptable. All right, ready? I'm gonna go in. Okay, I gotta go. This is Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast. It's ours now, and it's going to taste scrumptious.
Sweet.
We have a treat today. So, mysteries. Ooh,
Mysteries.
Mysteries. Well, what's going on
What is this
with
mystery?
these mysteries? There's so many of them. So, I have curated a few stories that I think everyone will find rather intriguing.
Okay.
And these are not stories that necessarily are brand new. People have probably heard them, but they haven't heard our take on them.
You just found these
Yes.
on the interweb?
Yes, I have. And I think that mystery stories are very, very compelling content. And people do them really, really well. But I think that they don't get the full picture exactly of what's going on in some of these mysteries. And I think that's where we come in, break it down, and find the truth.
Just get into the nitty-gritty.
Just get into it. Do you want to go into one right now?
Yeah, let's dive deep into these nooks and crannies, dude.
All right. So, have you ever heard of the Dyatlov Pass incident?
Dyatlov. That sounds Russian.
Yeah, it is quite Russian.
Dyatlov.
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 The Dyatlov Pass incident is the death of the Dyatlov group.
It's Scottish.
The group. It was an event in which 9 Soviet trekkers died in the northern Ural Mountains between 1 and the 2nd of February
Just,
in 1959.
you know Arnold Schwarzenegger's dad was a Nazi?
Oh, was he really?
I don't know.
That's a mystery. All right. So, basically, there's these group of hikers, right? And they are students. And they're going in for their level 3 hiking license in Russia. So,
you know what? I think I do know this story. Yeah, continue.
so they're led by Igor Dyatlov. And so what they did was they established a camp on the eastern slopes of Kyoletsky in the Russian SFSR of the Soviet Union. But then overnight, something caused them to cut their way out of their tent from the inside, and then they were all found dead in mysterious ways.
Didn't they? This is the one they found. They found one of the people had their tongue cut out.
There was somebody with their tongue cut off.
I know this
There
story.
was somebody with their eyebrows that were missing. There was somebody with burns on their hands.
In some sort of Siberian. They're just walking through the cold, right?
They're all in their pajamas. Like some of them don't have shoes or one shoe, and all these crazy things. One of them had their eyes were gone. A lot of them had blunt trauma to their head or their chest.
Just out there getting too high.
What?
High? Blunt trauma.
Oh, chronic trauma.
Stupid. So stupid.
That chronic blunt trauma.
Oh, bro, the blunt trauma.
So there's all these theories, hypothermia. In reality, people are like, this is probably an avalanche. a slab avalanche.
Cut somebody's tongue out?
So basically, some dude breaks it down, which was... I'm trying to find out how recently this person was trying to...
Why would you have to cut yourself out of a tent?
All right, so basically the theory is that they hear the oncoming avalanche, or a portion of the front of their tent is already encapsulated in snow. So instead of trying to unzip the tent, they just quickly cut their way out. Being experienced hikers, they're like, we need to get into the forest where the avalanche is going to be slowed by trees. So they split into several different parties. This is all theoretical. So they leave whatever they're wearing, they leave the tent, break out, 3 different groups, and a lot of the snow, the avalanche hits some of their bodies, which causes all this blunt force trauma to them. That's how they get all these injuries. And then, like,
could you imagine getting beat up by snow?
And then they see, like, the missing eyebrows and tongues are just like, they're already dead, and then they get scavenged from, animals come in, just like nibble on their tongue.
Wait, okay, so there's an animal that comes out and nibbles on eyebrows?
That's right. The eyebrow nibbler.
The eyebrow caterpillar. So it eats your eyebrow and then takes its place. It takes its place on your face.
It reminds me of John Dies at the end.
It's just one big caterpillar unibrow where your eyebrows used to be.
And then they say that one of them had attempted to probably build a fire at that point, and that's how he burned his hands. And yeah, but I think, in all honesty, we're missing the bigger picture here.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a... this is a mystery for sure.
The thing that I honestly thought was the most unexplainable thing. One of them, their clothes had a small...
cum stain.
The clothes had a small cum stain. Big clue. No, it was radioactive. It was mildly radioactive. The dude's clothes.
Oh, dude, it's KGB.
But I think we're missing the bigger picture here. And this is obviously a predator attack.
The predator?
The predator.
The
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
That's my predator noise.
That was my predator impression. So you think a predator landed in Russia and attacked a bunch of hikers?
Yeah, and for sport, murdered them one by one.
Yeah, but they only go after threats. Predators only go after...
What if this was like an initiate predator? This is his first one.
We saw that in Prey, and he was killed by a Comanche woman in Prey. That was your
basically a Russian.
Comanche women are...
Dude, I would be terrified to go up against a bunch of Russians.
A Comanche warrior woman is equal to a Siberian hiker.
6 Russians.
6 Russians.
6 Russian hikers. Yes. So, they probably sent out the one predator, and I honestly think that's what we're dealing with here.
I gotta be honest. Like, the way I'm thinking, I'm hearing this
Predators have flamethrowers. They love trophies. So this motherfucker's got a necklace filled with eyebrows and tongues.
You think they're... Okay, all right. How did he keep the eyebrow intact? Do you, like, shave the skin?
Yeah.
You can...
Right.
What, he puts them on his face?
It's like scalping, except for your eyebrow.
He's like Buffalo Bill. And he puts the eyebrows on after he cuts them off.
like Dwight puts the dummy face over his own.
Yeah. Just puts the eyebrows on and it just screams into the sky. Well, all right. So the most interesting thing to me is...
Yep. I'm sorry.
You're saying that they have this theory that it was an avalanche.
Yes.
Did they find everything covered in snow in an avalanche?
That's the thing. It's snow. So when they eventually found them, the snow probably melted a bit, revealing this terrible scene.
I don't know if I buy that.
That's why I think it's a predator. Also, fun fact, did you guys know that the voice actor that did the predator voice is Mario?
Same guy who does the voice.
The guy that does Mario, the N64 to future Mario from Nintendo. It's me, Mario. Is the predator.
Predator?
Yes. He invented the clicky.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. So, in like his story, when he's like, "Oh, so I came in," and they're like, "You're a weird alien." He's like, "Can you show me a picture of it?" And so they showed him a picture of it, and then he just started clicking. And they're like, "Yep."
That's it.
And that's the same thing how he got the Mario job. They're like, "You're an Italian plumber." What's my name? Mario. It's me, Mario. You're hired.
It's just the easiest gigs ever.
Right? It just falls into his lap.
He's like, trust me, guys, this career is going to work out.
There's really nothing else in this story that makes me think that it's not a predator, you know? The missing eyeballs.
You want to think like animal attack, right? But then why would they use a knife to cut out of a tent when they have a zipper?
Okay, so here is like a basic breakdown. 6 of the group members died of hypothermia and 3 of fatal injuries. There were no indications of other people nearby on Kholat Syakhi apart from the 9 travelers. The tent had been ripped open from within. The victims died 6 to 8 hours after their last meal. Traces from the camp show that all group members left the campsite on their own accord on foot. Some levels of radiation were found on one victim's clothing. To dispel the theory of an attack by indigenous Mansi people, this is a name. Vazrazedeni stated that the fatal injuries of the 3 bodies could not have been caused by human beings because of the force of the blows had been too strong and no soft tissue had been damaged. Released documents contained no information about the condition of the skiers' internal organs, and there were no survivors.
How does an avalanche cut your tongue off?
Well, that's what they're saying. The guy's like, well, he got killed by an avalanche, and then like a animal came by and ate the tongue. And I'm just like, nah, I don't buy that.
Why would he eat the tongue?
Because obviously the person died like this.
Just with its tongue out. Oh, God.
So in February of 2019, Russian authorities reopened the investigation into the incident, although only 3 possible explanations were being considered: an avalanche, a slab avalanche, or a hurricane.
There's been a lot of hurricanes in Florida, and I don't think that I've ever heard of one cutting a tongue out.
I don't know. It's just a matter of time before we start to see real sharknadoes. and then we're going to see a lot of lost tongues.
Yeah, I don't think we got to worry about that here, dude. They'll definitely kill those sharks. They'll get those sharks. Just like they get the gators.
The 12-year-old Yuri Kontsevich, who later became the head of the Yekaterinburg-based Dyatlov Foundation, attended 5 of the hikers' funerals.
That's what I'm trying to say, dude. The Jews run all these things.
He recalled that their skin had a deep brown tan. So they, after they died, they're like, we got to get these in the tanning booth. They look terrible.
Their mothers cannot see them this way.
They're so pale. This is Russia. Everyone's pale, but they need to look good. This is a funeral. All right, so there's
hats off to those hikers, dude.
Yeah. So that's,
rest in peace.
That's debunked. It's Predator, right? All day long, Predator.
They got caught in some kind of Epic versus Alien.
Yeah.
Or Predator versus Alien.
Yeah. Cracked skulls, situation. Missing eyes, no tongues.
There's just a predator running around with a tongue and eyebrows.
All right. So, moving away from a bunch of predator murdered hikers, we'll get into another extremely famous mystery. And this one actually has a recent update to it as of July of this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How old is this?
This is a 70-year-old mystery. So the mystery took place the morning of December 1st of 1948. And it is a mystery of a man found dead on a beach in Australia. And everyone on the internet knows him as the Somerton Man.
The Somerton Man?
Ooh, and there's a creepy photo of the dead guy, in a suit and tie. All right, so the story of this dude is on the morning of December 1st, 1948, dead body was found in the sand on Somerton Park Beach with an unlit cigarette tucked in the collar of his coat. And that's a great place to keep a cigarette when you're,
saving it for later.
Yeah, it's like it's your lucky, He's dressed in a suit and tie. He looked to be whether in his 40s or 50s, but he had no wallet or identification to point towards who he could be. In his pockets were more cigarettes, chewing gum, a comb, a bus ticket, an unused train ticket, which are all super normal things for a guy to be carrying. What was more mysterious was that he had a scrap of paper in his pocket with the words "Tamam should" which are Farsi words meaning it's finished. Ooh.
It's finished. The job.
It's finished. The job.
job is finished.
Job's you good, Mr. Somerton guy. Along with a coded note that to this day nobody has been able to decipher, which I have my own theories on the note. So these strange coded notes, along with the labels, had been cut off of his clothes, fueled speculation that he was some sort of a spy. Okay.
Spy.
A spy.
An Australian spy?
A spy in Australia.
A spy in Australia.
Yeah. Plastic surgeon tells doing this every month can snap back sagging skin. No creams needed.
You're just reading from the website.
According to the Australian Broadcasting Company, the breakthrough came after analyzing the mysterious man's DNA through some hairs that were preserved in a plaster model made of the man's face. And something that a lot of people are finding out is DNA is solving a lot of cold cases. We did that with the Golden State Killer. You know, Patton Oswalt's wife
wrote the book.
Yeah, wrote the book
Mm-hmm.
based on the fact that DNA evidence.
Wasn't that a cop?
Yeah,
He was a cop.
cop. Yeah, shitty cop.
Serial killer cop.
So, within the last 2 months, July of this year, DNA evidence has actually taken the number of potential individuals from 4,000 to 1. So we may know who this guy finally is.
Jimmy Hoffa.
So working with cold case forensics expert Colleen Fitzpatrick, Abbott, who is the person who is kind of leading these DNA tests, was able to narrow down the list of possible suspects from 4,000 to just 1. Professor Abbott believes that the mystery man was Carl Webb, a 43-year-old Australian engineer. So the investigation had the help of Webb's living relatives in confirming suspicions on the man's identity, and Abbott believes he also knows why Webb was found where he was all those years ago. He explained the evidence suggests Webb had separated from his wife, Dorothy Robertson, indicating that he might have been in Adelaide to track her down. In a statement, South Australia police said that they were not able to confirm whether the mystery man's identity had finally been discovered, but suggested that they were hopeful. A spokesperson said South Australia police are still actively investigating the Somerton man coronial matter. Okay, so we're heartened on the recent development in that case and are cautiously optimistic that this may provide a breakthrough. We look forward to the outcome of further DNA work to confirm the identification, which will ultimately be determined by the coroner. So the police have exhumed the mystery man's body to conduct new DNA tests, and this very well may be the end of the mystery of the summer. It might be Carl Webb.
It's Carl Webb.
It's Carl Webb.
The Australian spy.
With wife problems.
It was a note that she slipped him. It's finished.
It's finished. Why did she write it in Farsi? She knows I hate Farsi.
She learned Farsi from the new Farsi guy that she was banging.
Just a knife in the back on top of everything. Just kick him while he's down.
At least he died with his eyebrows.
He did. He did have his eyebrows and his mysterious hidden cigarette. I always thought that was funny. It's like, and then he had a cigarette in his coat collar. Okay, cool.
It's a tracking cigarette. It's a tracking device.
It was probably just as lucky. His easily grabbable cigarette.
How did I forget this in here?
You know, sometimes you just don't want to reach in your pocket and fumble through, the pack of cigarettes. You just want to grab it real quick out of your collar and put it. You know what? His wife left him. He wants to look cool for ladies. What's cooler than just slipping a cigarette out of your collar and lighting it?
You know what happened was that he pulled that cigarette out of the pack and he went to smoke it and he saw his reflection in the water and he goes, "No, that's it. I'm done smoking." So he pulled out a little piece of paper and he wrote, "It's finished.
And
I'm done." And he was going to hold on to that cigarette forever to remember the time.
It smells like her.
He's like, "You know what? I'm going to get over this. I'm going to change my life around. I'm done smoking."
And you know the mysterious note that no one's been able to this coded note? He probably was like, well, she's writing in Farsi. I'm going to get drunk one night and try and write my own thing in Farsi.
Think I don't know Farsi?
Think I don't know Farsi? I'll write Farsi right now.
Some Farsi fucker? I'll learn Farsi right now.
Chining tadam.
What are Farsi people? Who are Farsi?
I actually don't know.
Let's look up Farsi.
I feel very ignorant about this right now.
They're not the Aborigine people, right?
Farsi.
Farsi. Here it is. It's a Persian language.
It's a Persian
Yeah,
language?
it's a Western Iranian language.
Western Iranian?
Yeah, he's like, you left me for this fucking Iranian? And this, you're talking about in 48. I mean, what special intelligence did they have?
Well, I mean, that's just
Western
after World
Iran.
War II. You know, spies didn't have a lot to do at that point, so they were just like, you're free, do what you want. And he's like, well, I'm a spy. My wife left me. I'm going to go find her in Adelaide.
Australian spy. You think he looked up to Timothy Dalton?
Crikey, Christina, with a goddamn Farsi.
Back to the Scottish thing.
You've done it now, Christina. You're taking on a Farsi husband.
God damn it,
God
Tiffany.
damn it.
Aubrey, how could you do this?
Crikey, crikey, Christina.
I'll tell you one thing, it's finished.
This is unacceptable. I'm gonna write you a love letter in Farsi.
Anytime we can't do an accent, it's just
Turns
Scottish.
Scottish, which we can barely do also.
Right. Oh, it's terrible.
So
Well,
that's the Somerton man.
Poor guy.
So we've solved two. We've solved two
Did we
so
solve
far.
them?
They're solved.
I don't know if we
Not
solved
only
them.
are we discussing these mysteries, we're actively solving them.
I feel like we're just tap dancing around them.
We're putting them to bed.
That's it. Carl Webb, you heard it first.
Carl Webb, the
Carl
boring,
Webb.
wifeless man. All right. What do I want to go into now? I think probably, yeah, we're gonna go into. And I was talking to you about this a little bit earlier. So there's something here in America, in Georgia, called the Georgia Guidestones.
The Georgia Guidestones, they're like big monuments with writing all over.
Yeah, it's basically America's weird version of Stonehenge, people call it. It's a granite monument. It's in Elbert County, Georgia. It was built in 1980. 19 feet, 3 inches tall, and it's made up of 6 granite slabs weighing a total of 237,746 pounds, or 107,840 kilograms.
So they're essentially just giant marble.
That's a lot of kilograms!
No, we better get out of this avalanche before we're kilograms.
I'm gonna nail some eyebrows onto it!
So they're giant stones with like they unlock the mysteries of civilization building.
It's got some pretty wild stuff on it. So the structure was sometimes referred to as American Stonehenge. Monument's creators believed that there was going to be an upcoming social, nuclear, or economic calamity in 1980.
Makes sense. Just cocaine.
The 80s are going to be wild, guys.
The
We
crack
need to get
epidemic.
ready.
It's the crack epidemic. It's gonna just tear everything
I
down.
hear this Star Wars thing's getting pretty out of hand. We need to be ready.
All the guys are dressing as ladies.
It's unacceptable. People are playing video games. All right.
So these giant slabs.
Right. So basically the whole point is there's a monument to serve as a guide for humanity in a world after something like that happens. It garnered controversy early on, but it ultimately became the subject of conspiracy theories and controversy. It's also said to be connected with Satanism, which I really didn't understand. Because I haven't seen anything other than the fact that, like, one of the things that it talks about is, like, controlling the population to 500 million. Like,
I don't see anything
like
evil with that.
a human population needs to be 500 million. I don't care how you do it. Just make it happen. Well, I guess at that point they believed that something was going to happen and people would get wiped out, and then there would be, like, a smaller number of people to repopulate humanity. And, you think about it now, we got over 8 billion people on the planet. When I was in elementary school, there were 6 billion people on the planet.
Right.
You know? It hadn't even gotten to 7 billion people, and that was in the late 90s, early aughts. 6 billion people. And now we're at over 8. Although science is basically saying that there's going to be a cap off at 12, like just humanity as a whole is going to be more careful with population. Like we're already seeing declines in families having multiple children, even though I know a lot of people that got like 6 kids, granted probably from multiple marriages, but there's a lot of people that are having a lot of kids, especially the super wealthy, just having tons and tons and tons of kids.
I could see the benefit of having like 12 kids.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people to do stuff for you.
Well, you can build an empire with 12 kids.
I mean, we're not at the point now where people are like dying of scurvy or chicken pox,
Where they're dying of avalanches and having their eyebrows fucking eaten off.
Dying from predator attacks. It just happened one time. One incident.
It's like, well, from the elaborate traps we found whittled out of wood, we believe that it was a predator attack.
All right, so the biggest thing that people talk about is like who made this thing, right? You want to find out who built this weird, crazy manifesto in the middle of the desert. I don't know if it's in the desert. It's in Georgia.
Is there a desert in Georgia?
There could be.
I don't think there's a desert in Georgia.
Well, they built it in Georgia. Let's just
It's just right outside Atlanta.
All right, so we do know that in June of 79, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian, he approached Elberton Granite Finishing Company to build this thing. And he was like, hey man, me and my friends, we got a message we want to do. We're going to give you some money.
See, I want to chisel my manifesto into stone.
And the granite company's, how big you want it? How big you need it? Where do you need it?
I've often believed there should be less than 500 million people on the earth.
I don't care what he says, Greg. He's paying good money for great granite. Joe Fenley of Elberton Granite believed that Christian was... Okay, so the dude did go, this dude's a nut. And he attempted to discourage him by providing a price quote for the commission that was several times higher than the project would be worth. He basically gave him a bunch of reasons why it was going to be super expensive, and then the guy was like, yeah, okay.
He's like,
he looks like he like doubled or tripled the price, and he's like, yeah, okay.
He's like, the message is that important.
So, are you sure? $20 million?
Like, the world has to know.
Price is no issue. The world needs to know what to do. Pong is out there. Pong is out there ruining our youth. Missile Command.
The kids are watching Muppets. They're not even real people.
American jobs.
American jobs are
taken by these puppets. Okay. So he accepted it. So this dude was like, he represented a group that had been planning to construct the guidestones for 20 years and wanted to remain anonymous. They developed a scale model, and I just think of Spinal Tap. Writes it on a napkin. Needs to be 12 feet tall, but then he writes inches, and it's a 1 foot, and then they hire a bunch of little people to run around it on stage. What a great movie.
I love Spinal Tap.
This one goes to 11. But why don't you just make 10 higher? No, but this one, it goes to 11.
When they're on stage and all the cocoons open, but the one dude's cocoon doesn't open. He's just trapped inside of it.
Oh, man. Sorry, off topic. Great movie. If you haven't seen it. All right. So, getting into kind of the stuff this thing says. Let me get into the inscriptions. Okay, so one thing about this thing. So, it's got like the new 10 Commandments, right? And it's written in 8 different languages on what appears to be 4 slabs. And then there's like a center post and like a ceiling part. But the 10 Commandments are as follows. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely. Improving fitness and diversity.
My body, my choice, dude.
Unite humanity with a living new language. Like Farsi. We're all going to speak Farsi.
It was built by Carl Webb. It's finished.
It's finished? Oh my god. He is a time traveler. All right. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, in all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws in just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. I'm going to go into JFK so hard in a second. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. It actually repeats it. It says leave room for nature, leave room for nature.
So this guy is just putting down what America does. It's just like, be America. America the Great is what he's saying.
He's not even talking about him. He's talking about the world.
Right, I know. But he's doing how America already treats the world.
Let's see.
He's got like control that population.
Avoid petty laws. Dude, our country is built on the pettiness of laws. I mean, look at any state's law book, and you're going to find you can't fuck a bear after midnight.
I know, and I'm trying to be out there, dude.
You can't sell chickens on the street corner.
I'm trying to sell my chickens and fuck bears, and they won't let me.
Illegal.
I thought this was the land of the free.
You can't have a wedding under a full moon. Like, there's such bullshit laws in every state. Every single state's got their own set of weird fucking laws.
Not fucking a bear is a pretty good law.
Well, maybe for you.
So you probably shouldn't be fucking bears, dude. Like, what if you successfully fucked a bear and that's how you get bear pox, dude?
Then your whole party would be killed in in Russia.
Dude, we're gonna get COVID bear, dude.
COVID bear.
It's gonna be COVID.
It's gonna rip off your eyebrows and take your tongue and punch you in the chest and burn your hands.
That's what it was. It was a sexualized bear, dude. It was a hypersexualized bear. He bit the tongue out of somebody, dude, and then chewed the eyebrows off in a sensual way.
Okay, I'm still not against. It could be a predator bear.
So it's a hybrid predator bear.
Well, maybe this is okay. So predator obviously is fake. You know, those are movies. Let's be realistic here. Those are movies. This could be the first prototype of an actual predator, but it starts off as a bear. It's not far-fetched. Bears are killing machines.
It's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched. Bears are already set to kill people. They kill people really good. They're really good at it, right? All right. So there's an explanatory tablet on top of everything. It says, the Georgia Guidestones Center Cluster erected March 22nd, 1980. And then immediately below this was the outline of a square inside, which was written, let these be guidelines to an age of reason. All right. And there's a bunch of astronomic features about this giant thing, right? So it's like Stonehenge, it kind of is built in a way where it does stuff, right? So the astronomic features of this, it channels... a channel through stone indicates celestial pole. The horizontal slot indicates annual travel of the sun. Sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. And then it says, R.C. Christian, which is a pseudonym, sponsors a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. And then it says time capsule placed 6 feet, 1.83 meters below this spot. On nothing, to be opened on nothing. So this is a really good time to also give an update for anyone who has witnessed this story. It's not anything that I'm sure you haven't seen a million times on YouTube and TikTok and all these things. It's gone now. As of July of 2022,
it disappeared.
It was bombed. Someone blew it up.
Someone suicide bombed
No. There was just an explosive device placed on one of the walls, and it blew up one section of it. So they took the whole thing down for safety reasons.
They're trying to hide the truth.
So the crew, when they were cleaning up everything, dug underneath that stone that said, "There's a time capsule here, 6 feet deep, 1.83 meters." And they dug 6 feet down and didn't find shit. And then I was like, "Why did you go 6? Dude, keep digging.
Just go 7.
Find that fucking thing."
Just go more. You just go 7. Go 7 feet.
Yeah, at least go an extra fucking foot. But they're like, no, we did the 6, and then we stopped. And I was like, you doing the bare minimum. All right, and then probably the most interesting story I've been excited about this day is a story regarding everyone's favorite topic, mummies.
Oh, I love a mummy.
And did you know there's a thing called Mummapedia?
It's like Wikipedia for mummies.
For mummies.
I guess that makes sense. There's,
People-
there's a wiki for
And
everything.
we're going to get into how much people really do like mummies. So the story, I stumbled across this story, and the thing that I found fascinating once I started reading up on it is people are talking about the mummies, right? The mummies of Venzone. Okay.
Well,
And
what are the mummies of Venzone?
the mummies of Venzone are a mystery to people, and there's a bunch of theories as to how these mummies exist, because they're basically found under a cathedral. They're like 1600. They were discovered in the 1600s, and they hadn't decomposed very well. They'd done a good job staying intact, and they had all their skin. They were mummified.
They were mummified, but without
Naturally, though.
naturally mummified.
And not in cold or anything. They weren't like embalmed or anything like that. And so there's a mystery involving these mummies. There was like 45 of them in the beginning. They lost a bunch of them during an earthquake in Italy. But these mummies are just fully intact human corpses. And the speculation is, there's a fungus in the soil that's preserving them. There's the limestone floors in the tomb are what kept them intact. There's a bunch of speculation. None of it's really proven. And all these scientists are trying to figure out and try and pinpoint the exact reason why these mummies were kept in such good condition. But that's not what I'm really wondering about on this story. So when you look at photos of the mummies of Venzone, you're going to find a lot of candid photographs of black and white photographs. I think it's in the 1950s in Italy of the town of Venzone gallivanting about with their mummies, just holding them and running around the fucking town with their mummies.
So they found a bunch of mummies.
They're like, you get a mummy, and you get a mummy, and you get a mummy.
In this small town, they just found all these mummies, and they started handing them out.
And you look at some of these photos, right? There's like these old people, and they're just holding the mummy. They're holding these human corpses and taking photos with them. And there's like this one old woman who's taking a picture with a bunch of these mummies. There's a picture of a priest with one of the mummies leaning up against a wall, and he's like poking it with a stick.
It's right here. It's right here. I see it.
Yeah.
He's poking it in the eye.
He's poking it in the face with a stick, and
he
he looks tickled to death while he's doing it. Look at this fucking dead person. And so they're...
You know what? You need to post this picture. It looks like Ewan McGregor poking a mummy in the face.
It does look like Ewan McGregor.
It does look like Ewan.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that up on the put it on the socials. But
I'm a Jedi.
no one is talking about these crazy ass fucking townspeople just parading these mummies around town. And I swear to God, it's like okay. Based on these photos, you know for a fact that one of these people fucked one of these mummies. Like,
well, it's my mummy.
And there's a whole row of people standing down the street, and they're all holding a mummy. Each person has a fucking mummy in their hand. They're holding up the mummy, and it's just like person mummy, person mummy, person mummy, and they're all just like smiling and super happy.
It's just a corpse. It's a corpse of a person who lived.
Yes,
had a
human.
life.
There was a person with a human being, and they're literally being carried around the town,
just paraded. Look at my mummy.
And the funny thing is, all of the mummies have like these like doilies, these wraps around their waist to cover their genitals, so they have no problem defacing this person and taking their dead body to fucking Burger King, but I don't want to show you my mummy's genitals.
Well, that's for the children.
Think of the children.
Can't have mummy dicks waving around all town. It's so funny to think that they're individual. It's almost like they're owned individually by the citizens of Venzone. They're like, no, this is my mummy.
This is my mummy. I found it fair and square.
I call him Jeff.
This is Jeff.
This is Jeff.
Join me and Jeff for dinner. Reservation for two.
Norman Bates.
Do you need a booster seat? No, I need a prop.
You have a voice for your mummy.
So Jeff, how was your day? Oh, it was fine. I got a little sunburn.
Oh, Jeff. That's just typical Jeff.
Then you slowly put your hand on your mummy's hand, and then you fuck the shit out of that
you
mummy.
fucked the mummy.
Yeah.
I mean, why else have a mummy?
Well, Grandma Mary's passed away, and in her will, she's left Jeff the mummy.
I give the mummy to my firstborn.
And I had given you this article, and one of the things that you brought up is that like they're denying people.
Yeah, so what I read was that there's like a scientist, he's in the article, and he's trying to figure out, his mystery is why did these mummies become naturally mummified, but trying to get permission from these locals to let him take samples of these mummies are near impossible. He says they're incredibly hospitable, like they'll let you in and you can have a bowl of soup and sit next to the mummy, but you can't take any samples from the mummy to figure out why they were mummified.
You can't touch my mummy.
Dude, that's my mummy.
I have it displayed gently over my mantle.
It's just, please do not touch.
Except for me. I can do whatever the fuck I want with that mummy.
Oh, I've touched that mummy.
I took it on a boat trip. I've taken it on a cruise.
Throw some sunglasses and a sombrero on the mummy.
Dude, if there was going to be Weekend at Bernie's 3, it would be this town of fucking mummy people.
They just treat it like normal. They got him in like a seat when you walk into the business. The mummy's just sitting in a chair with a sign like "Welcome to Target."
And it's just like the photos. There's just like all these, like there's one dude in the town. There's one dude in the town with a fucking camera, and then everyone in the town has their own fucking mummy.
Hey, I just got this camera. I'm gonna take pictures of all these mummies.
Hey, you get Jeff and Carl and all the other mummies around, and
You said
do
it
mummy
was,
parade.
It's in Italy, so they should be like, "Oh my God, I found the mummy."
Oh, I found the mummy. His name is
do,
Jeffrey.
You do like a New York Italian. Hey, we got all these mummies. They're just sitting around everywhere.
I found this mummy here. Look at this mummy.
Mario, come look at
Mario!
this mummy.
Look at this fucking mummy. Oh, look at its huge cock. We gotta cover it with a doily.
You better put a doily on it.
Hey, David, this mummy's got a bigger cock than you. That's why there's a grandma who's got like a bunch of pictures with these mummies. There's one tall ass fucking mummy.
I'm wondering if, because like all these mummies are in different positions, if they like re-articulated the mummy's arms to be in a certain pose, or if it's just like, no, my mummy died like this.
Yeah, no, that's because the thing is they're stiff as fuck. Like when you see these people in the pictures carrying them,
they're stiff as fuck.
So says that grandma.
there
she is.
There's the grandma right
She's
there.
right there.
She's eye level with his dick.
Oh my god, she is seriously like eye level with his dick, dude.
You remind me of my third husband.
Dude, this mummy's vacant lack of eyes are still screaming, you know consent is a thing, right?
He died when he was like 20. They all died when they were super young.
But just like I'm just, my hands are over my face right now. I'm just trying to deal with the fact that these are corpses. These are human, dead people. They're dead people.
It's the grandma.
Jeez, and there's the grandma again. And dude, that mummy's fucking terrifying.
Oh, she's just like behind it, hovering over his shoulder.
And then look, what's behind her? Another person with another fucking mummy.
It's
and
like
they're
Gucci
outside.
Bag, dude. It's the latest fucking thing. Oh yeah, I just went down and picked myself up a new mummy.
Have you seen my mummy skin bag?
I'm sorry, your mummy's a knockoff.
So on average, these mummies weigh about 35 pounds. So when they're carrying these stiff ass mummy people. It's literally like just, like a bag of groceries. There she is again with another fucking mummy.
And it's obviously a different mummy.
Dude, and this woman...
It's not the same mummy. She's like, I need pictures with all
I'm
these.
going to be with all these... I'm going to be with all of these mummies.
Hey, this is what I'm going to look like when I'm dead.
I'm going to give her this mummy a gentle kiss.
I love how you do real Italian, and I'm just like fucking Brooklyn Italian. Yeah, come on down to the pizza shop. You can come meet my mommy. Yeah.
That's not a sandwich. That's a mummy.
Hey, the mummy says you should try the mozzarella. Hey.
Hey.
Some mortadella.
So, again,
what a creepy bitch.
in the end, who gives a flying fuck about how the mummies exist? These mummies got to live actual lives after they were dead. They got to go places and see people and do things, and all the while, they literally put fucking clothes on them. I said, this is Weekend at Bernie's 3, and I meant it. Because Weekend at Bernie's 3 is not the same dude. It's just a massive amount of people gallivanting about with actual dead people.
Weekend at Bernie's 3, in that sense, would be like a normal couple or a group of friends going to that town in Italy.
And bringing a new dead guy.
And, well, everyone else is treating it like it's normal, having these mummies on their shoulders. And
No, this is a new mummy. This is brand new.
Like, hey, how
I
come
got the newest model.
How come the new couple didn't say anything to Jeff over here? It's disrespectful.
But your mummy's so floppy. Yeah, I bet you wish yours was floppy.
Oh.
But just so many
who are these
many
people?
pictures. I don't know, but the town is full of psychos. Psychopaths.
They're putting the
Dude,
mummies up like scarecrows.
this old dude is holding that mummy like Joe Biden would hold on to a young girl.
He's sniffing the shoulder. The mummy's giant compared to them, too.
That's a good looking mummy.
I wonder if they were even Italians. They were like lost.
Oh, this mummy looking so sad.
It's like lost Vikings.
Lost Vikings?
Look at them. These mummies are gigantic for being shriveled.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're in great shape.
Yeah, they are.
They're A-class mummies.
We were preserved for a reason. Oh, God, she's
There she
so
is.
creepy, dude.
She's
She really
such a-
is in, like, every picture.
And she's holding up this mummy, and she's like staring.
Is that a chef's apron put onto that mummy?
That's what I
am
said.
looking at?
Like it's like a weird. It's like an apron doily. I don't know. But it's like a towel, and on the bottom it's like crimped, like artistically crimped, to make the mummies look real nice.
The people of Enzone, they should donate their mummies to the new the mummy ride being opened at Universal.
And
just have real mummies being I mean, they're already being flopped around and paraded around, right? So they might as well be an art installation.
Just
in itself.
install some animatronics into the mummies.
You know how the fake rubber ones come up and they're like, "Wow," and the fire comes up? Just have real mummies.
Yeah, right. And then it's just like they launch at you like a jump scare. One of their heads finally
The
falls
dislocated jaw smacks the patron.
We lost another one. Oh, you know what? You get to keep it. You keep the head. That's for you. Trust me, it's been around.
It's just the idea of like,
Don't put a black light on that zombie. Just don't. It's covered in cum.
It's
this,
like
this mummy is covered in jizz.
the idea of what you said of like passing it down as like a generational gift.
Right.
And to you, my dear Clarissa, I give you the family's mummy. May it forever serve your mentor well.
Yeah, just again, get tested.
It's like a rabbit's foot.
If
It's just lucky.
if you want to have fun with that mummy, just get yourself tested afterwards.
There's a little kid running around town with a little mummy toe on a chain. It's for good luck.
Oh God, that's terrible. But anyway, fuck these people. They're garbage.
Are they garbage? They're having fun, dude.
So
They're having
disrespectful.
they're having so much
they're having
fun.
fun with dead people.
They're having so. Look at the grandma. She's never felt so alive.
If this happened today, people would die.
Look how sad that mummy looks. Dude. It's
Yeah.
like, why did you unbury me?
Can you just let me chill?
Stop touching me weird.
Dude, I hope to God that at least one of these mummies got to haunt one person. You know, because you got to think if you got to think. Yeah, that's a mummy dick.
It's the mummy.
And he's trying to lean up. Don't look. It's cold in here.
I swear it gets much
it was
bigger.
bigger when I was alive. I promise.
What's Latin for a grower, not a shower?
A patici.
A potential. Hey, it's not on my gabagool. What can I tell you?
Oh, so
Hey, don't take a picture of my little peppercini.
Dude, but lay these poor these human beings, please lay them to rest.
I say parade them around town, dude. I say keep it going. I love it. It's them. They're the ones who are going to hell for it. Fucking.
Well, this is luckily I think that generation died because that was the 1950s. So I guarantee you that old woman's dead. And you know what? Turn her ass into a mummy right now. If it hasn't, okay. So think about it. If they buried her in the same way, there's a chance that she's mummified, right?
Right.
Let's fucking put her ass out on town. She probably looks great.
Oh, she probably love it.
She probably looks unchanged. just lay her
I'm thinking
stiff ass out there, put a doily over her crotch, and then take her to the fucking McDonald's.
You said you said that first generation, they're probably all dead, right? So that made me think of episode 1 when we talked about that spooky ass diary that you found. Mm-hmm. So it's the next generation, right? So
right.
These people come to clear out a storage unit, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got everything we need, but can you toss out everything that's left?" And they open the door, and there's just a mummy in a chair.
Yeah, we don't want that. No, we don't want that.
Can you dispose of this mummy? The doilies have fallen off. It's all exposed.
So Grandma's dead. We went through her storage unit. We left everything, including Grandma.
The little kid runs in. It's like, Grandma! 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 Grazie, Grandma!
Oh, God.
The fucking people of Venzone, dude.
So that's the mummies of Venzone. We had fun here today.
That's where the destination should be. If you go on an Italian trip, just go to Venzone. Mm-hmm. Go check out Venzone.
I think you can still see... Oh, yeah. So there was an earthquake in Italy, and out of the 45 mummies or so, they're down to like 15 now.
I like to imagine that's the headline. It's like, brutal earthquake hits Venzone, Italy.
Right.
30 zombies, 30 mummies lost in the earthquake.
Right. But yeah, they're down to a precious 15. I would say the hardier zombies, the ones that really took a beating.
This is Darwinism. That's what it is.
The strongest mummy survives. That's great. All right, Majizzies. And do you think that's a good name for our listeners?
Majizzies?
Majizzies?
That sounds a little...
sexual. Well, I mean, this podcast is horny. So we're MJSYPOD on all social media. You can go to MJSYPOD.com. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate all of your support. Our intro music is Lydia Can't Breathe. Check them out.
Great band.
Their song Sheep. They have a new single, the Electric Powder. Check that out. They have great music videos. Don't forget to do a shout out to them. Support that band as well. Anything you wanted to add, Jerem?
I'm so appreciative that we're doing this.
It's great.
We're throwing it out there. And if you're listening, I love you guys. It's like a dream come true.
We love you so much, you guys. Yeah, you are along for this wacky wild ride.
And if no one's listening, I love you, Mike.
Jeremy, I love you.
I love you, man.
Oh, and don't forget to go on our Patreon. We got extra episodes.
It's going to get fluffed out. It's going to get filled up.
We go... You can go to our Patreon, and we got extra episodes there. It's me and Jeremy catching up. Some of it gets pretty raunchy and weird, talking about especially Jeremy and his adventures out of state during the week, and then I catch up with him on the weekend and just hear about all the crazy stuff that he goes and sees and does for his job, and then me and how boring my life is.
It's a lot of cool, like, catching up through the past. If you watch the Patreon episodes, you're gonna see a lot of.
You're gonna watch that with your ears.
There's emotion. There's real. You're seeing two guys really catching up with each other.
Yeah, and it needs to happen because it's been a hot minute, and I love you.
I love you too.
Another. All right, bye.
Bye.
Howdy, it's Future Michael coming at you, and just had a couple of last-minute tidbits. This is going to be your last chance to get tickets for the show. At least this is our last opportunity to remind you via the wonderful, sultry sound of my voice before the show on October 8th. Lydia Can't Breathe is going to be over at Club 52. It's hosted by Super Dave and JRR. Don't want to miss that show. Kyle, their lead guitarist and vocalist, is going to be wrestling a midget, and no one wants to miss that. And you should all go get tickets. You can get those at blindanxietyentertainment.com. Just remember, we're MajizzyPod on Instagram and Twitter, MJSYPOD. If there's any podcasts that you want us to heist, use the hashtag on Twitter at MajizzyPod, hashtag I put the money under the rock by 95. The numbers 9 and 5. Yeah, we have a website, majizzypod.com, and we have an email address. You can email the show at ajah at majizzypod.com. UHJYEAH MJSYPOD. Getting tired of repeating that. I'm sure you guys have written it down somewhere. It's probably on a sticky note by your computer. All right, Majizzies, you have a good one, and I love you. Keep it real. Bye.
Your Russian accent got all Scottish.
Very quickly. Oh, and it always goes Scottish.
Just imagine, just a bunch of Russians with Scottish accents on this mountain.
Igor!
We gotta cut ourselves out of the tents.
That's a predator out there!
Oh, Igor, we're never gonna make it. I'll have your eyebrows for that.
Hey, you mind your tongue or I'll cut it out!
He just pulls out he's just radioactive Russian Scottish accents.
Romanov!
Oh, the mountain's coming down, Romanov.
We've got to get out of here!